The island of Tenerife, with its glittering coastlines, volcanic ridges, and labyrinthine ravines, has long been sold to the world as a paradise for tourists. But for the family of 19-year-old Jay Slater, it has become the backdrop of their darkest nightmare. Now, weeks after the young apprentice bricklayer from Lancashire vanished during a holiday with friends, Spanish police have revealed the details of what led to his death. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Authorities confirmed what many feared. Jay's life was cut short after a horror fall from height, leaving him with multiple broken bones. While the official autopsy report sheds some light on his final moments, it cannot ease the grief of those left behind. Instead, it deepens the tragic sense of how one night of fun and freedom spiraled into catastrophe. The official confirmation. After weeks of speculation, rumors, and anguished searching, Tenerife's Guardia Civil released the medical examiner's conclusion. According to the autopsy, Jay suffered polytrauma injuries consistent with a fall from significant height. His body, discovered deep in a ravine several miles from where he was last seen, bore evidence of fractures to his ribs, arms, and legs, injuries doctors say would have made survival impossible. One officer, speaking to local press, explained, "The injuries indicate he fell down a steep drop, consistent with the rugged terrain of the Masca Gorge. His broken bones tell the story of a rapid descent. There were no defensive wounds, no signs of foul play. It was an accident, a tragedy of nature and circumstance." The words were clinical, meant to bring closure. But for Jay's family back in Oswestwizel, Lancashire, closure feels like an illusion. A night that turned into a mystery. Jay had flown to Tenerife in June with friends for a short holiday. They spent their nights enjoying the island's buzzing nightlife and their days recovering under the Mediterranean sun. But on the morning he disappeared, he had ventured away from his group, reportedly heading towards the mountain trails after attending a party in a remote Airbnb. Phone data showed his last location near the Masca Valley, a place of stunning beauty but perilous terrain. Locals, experienced with the land, had long warned that the gorge was treacherous even for seasoned hikers. Loose rocks, steep inclines, and sudden drops made it an area not to be taken lightly. "Even we avoid some parts of it," a villager told reporters. "It is easy to lose your footing, and once you fall, there is no way back." For Jay, a young man in holiday attire, with little water and no hiking experience, the landscape became a death trap. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The long search. From the moment Jay was reported missing, the search for him grew into one of the largest operations Tenerife had seen in years. Police helicopters hovered over the mountains. Search dogs were deployed to sniff out any trace of him. Volunteers joined officers to comb through trails, caves, and cliff edges. Day after day, the search dragged on, with no sign of the teenager. His mother, Debbie Duncan, flew out immediately and refused to leave the island, pleading for answers. "I knew something was wrong," she told journalists at the time, her voice breaking. "Jay would never just disappear. He would never put us through this." But as the days turned to weeks, hope dimmed. Then came the heartbreaking discovery, a body found in a ravine, hours from where he was last seen. DNA testing confirmed it was Jay. The ravine of death. The Masca Gorge, where Jay was found, has a reputation among hikers that oscillates between awe and fear. Rising volcanic cliffs shadow narrow paths that twist and snake downwards to the Atlantic. One wrong step, one moment of imbalance, can send a body tumbling dozens of meters. Experts familiar with the terrain said Jay's fall was tragically predictable. "He was not prepared for that kind of environment," said Dr. Rafael Montes, a mountain safety specialist. "Without proper footwear, water, or maps, a fall becomes almost inevitable. The gorge is deceptive. What looks like a shortcut can actually be a cliff edge." His broken bones confirmed that Jay had plunged far and hard. Police said death would have been swift, though whether from the impact itself or the internal injuries remains uncertain. Family's devastation. For his mother Debbie, the confirmation brought no relief. Standing outside their family home in Oswestwizel, she described her heartbreak. "My boy was full of life, full of plans. He had just started his apprenticeship. He was excited for the future. And now we're planning his funeral instead of his 20th birthday. His father, visibly shaken, added, "Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. No parent should have to go through this." He went on holiday for fun, and he never came home. The family has been inundated with support from friends, neighbors, and even strangers who followed Jay's story across social media. Floral tributes pile up outside their house, candles flickering at vigils held in his honor. But the grief remains raw. Rumors and anger. Even before the official cause of death was announced, the case had been shrouded in speculation. Online forums buzzed with theories ranging from foul play to deliberate disappearance. Some questioned why Jay had ventured so far into the mountains. Others cruelly suggested he had brought misfortune upon himself. Debbie has slammed such talk as heartless. People forget he was just a lad 19 years old. He didn't deserve to be talked about like that. We just want peace and respect for Jay. The official report ruling his death as accidental has done little to silence the whispers. But for those who loved him, the truth is simple. Jay slipped, he fell, and he never came back. A wider warning. Jay's death has also reignited conversations about tourist safety in Tenerife. While the island attracts millions each year, officials admit they face challenges in ensuring visitors understand the risks of its natural landscapes. Mountain rescue teams have long urged tourists not to attempt trails without guides, proper gear, and supplies. Jay's case is now being used as a stark reminder. Posters and online advisories highlight the dangers of wandering into the gorge without preparation. "People see the Instagram photos and think it is safe," said one rescuer. But the mountains don't care. They are unforgiving. The community's grief. Back in Lancashire, Jay's hometown has united in mourning. His local football team held a minute's silence before their latest match. His apprenticeship colleagues set up a memorial bench near the site where he trained. Local pubs have passed collection buckets to help his family cover funeral expenses. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. At a candlelit vigil, one of his closest friends shared. He was the loudest in the room, always making people laugh. He loved music, loved a good night out, but more than that, he loved his family. He would never want to see them hurting like this. The unanswered questions. While the autopsy answers the how, it cannot answer the why. Why did Jay choose to take that path alone? Why didn't he call for help sooner, when his phone still had signal? Did he realize how dangerous the gorge was before it was too late? For his family, those questions may haunt them forever. Police have closed the investigation, ruling it an accident. Yet for those left behind, there is no closure, only the enduring ache of what might have been. Legacy of a life cut short. Though Jay's life ended in tragedy, those who knew him insist he will be remembered for his vibrance, not his death. His smile, his jokes, his energy, the qualities that made him stand out, will live on in memory. His story, however, will also remain a cautionary tale, a reminder of how quickly joy can turn to sorrow when nature's dangers are underestimated. As one villager in Tenerife put it, "Every year, people come to our island and think it is only beaches and cocktails. But the mountains demand respect." Sadly, Jay paid the ultimate price. A mother's final words. At the close of a recent tribute, Debbie shared a message that resonated deeply. "Jay was my baby, my youngest. He was cheeky, he was funny, he was ours. We will never stop loving him. And if his story saves just one other life, then at least some good will come from this nightmare." Her words cut through the speculation, the headlines, and the rumors, bringing the focus back to what matters most, the life of a boy who should still be here. Conclusion. Jay Slater's death is officially confirmed as the result of a fall from height, his broken bones bearing silent witness to the fatal drop. Yet beyond the medical report lies a deeper story, one of youth and promise stolen too soon, of a family plunged into grief, and of a community rallying around them. In Tenerife's rugged ravines, the echoes of his fall may fade. But in the hearts of those who loved him, Jay's laughter, spirit, and memory will remain forever. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.